Hey guys, this is a lesson 11.3, solving radical equations. So, solving radical equations, you have two different situations. So copy down both of these equations. These are my different possible scenarios. So, in this one, on the left, the whole entire piece on this side is under the radical sign. So if I want to get rid of that, I need to square both sides. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So then the square root and the squared cancel each other off, and I'm left with x minus 5 equals 4 squared, which is 16. I add, not 4. I add 5 to both sides, so then I get x equals 21. Now, here's the important part. You need to put this back in. 21 minus 5 is 16, and the square root of 16 equals 4. So it works for the original equation. You want to put it back in for the original equation. Now, this one is a little bit different. It looks the same. However, my radical sign is only with the x. The 5 is by itself. So in this instance, you are going to add 5 to both sides, and then you get the square root of x equals 9, and then you have to square both sides. So x equals 81. So let's try it. Put it back into the original equation. The square root of 81 is 9. 9 minus 5 is 4, so it works. So really make sure that you're checking your answers. There's two totally different ways to solve these problems. Okay, real world problem solving. On a roller coaster ride, your speed in a loop depends on the height of the hill you have just come down and the radius of the loop in feet. So the equation v equals 8 square root of h minus 2r gives the velocity v in feet per second of a car at the top of the loop. So the car meaning the roller coaster car. Suppose a loop has a radius of 18 and you want the car to have a velocity of 30 at the top of the loop. How high should the hill be? So I'm going to say my radius is 18, so r equals 18, and v, I want it to be 30. So I'm going to plug these both in to this equation that they gave me. So I have 30 equals 8 square root of h minus 2 times 18. So try and solve this real quick, and then we'll go over it. Okay, so I am going to first divide both sides by 8. 30 divided by 8, that's a decimal, so let's just leave it as a fraction. 15 over 4 equals the square root of h minus, and then 2 times 18 is 36. So I'm going to square both sides because this is a square root, so I need to square both sides. So I need to grab a calculator. Okay, so 15 divided by 4, and then that's 3.75, and then I'm going to square that. So I get 14.0625 equals h minus 36. And then I add 36 to both sides. And I get for an answer, my height needs to be about 50.0625 feet. Or you can say a little bit more than 50. So you're just plugging the numbers in and solving the equation. Make sure you know how to do that. Okay, next we have this equation, solve. Now, if you look at it, both sides have a square root sign or a radical sign. So I can square both sides and be just left with a regular equation. 3x minus 4 equals 2x plus 3, and then I can solve this equation. Minus 2x from both sides. So then I have 1x minus 4 equals 3, and then I add 4 to both sides. So 1x equals 7. Now, you really want to make sure it works. So 3 times 7 is 21 minus 4 is the square root of 17. 2 times 7 is 14 plus 3 is the square root of 17. So they both work. So x equals 7. So now this is a vocab word you need to put down. It's a extraneous solution. So let's say we start with this equation. X equals 2. This is very simple. I'm going to square each side. X squared and 2 squared. So then I get x squared equals 4. That's my new equation. So my solutions are 2 and negative 2. That's what we did last chapter in chapter 10. Now, if you plug these back into this original equation, the negative 2 does not satisfy that equation. Negative 2 does not equal 2. So that is considered an extraneous solution. When we take square roots, a lot of times we get 2 answers. One of them might not work. So you have to make sure you check your answers, your solutions. So let's try this problem. Solve x equals the square root of x plus 12. Okay, so I am going to square both sides. So then I get x squared equals x plus 12. Okay, now if you look at this, it looks kind of different, like I won't be able to do it. So I'm going to minus x and minus 12. And now, what do I have? X squared minus x minus 12. Well, I have the quadratic formula. So now I have to solve this with that. So I'm just going to factor. So if I look at this, my factors that are 3 and 4 of 12, that will give me negative 1. So I want x plus 3 times x minus 4. So if I look, okay, so let's check. X squared minus 4x plus 3x, yep, and negative 12. Perfect. So my answers are negative 3 and positive 4. So let's try these in the original equation. So negative 3, does negative 3 equals the square root of negative 3 plus 12? So negative 3 equaled the square root of 9. And so yes, the square root of 9, oh gosh. Sorry, I hit the, I hit the double button. So then the square root of 9, so negative 3 does equal 3 or negative 3. Okay, so let's try 4. Does 4 equal the square root of 4 plus 12? So 4 equaled the square root of 16. Yes, 4 equals 4. So both answers are correct. Okay, last one. Solve the square root of 3x plus 8 equals 2. So you're going to draw your line and you're going to minus the 8. The 8 is not under the square root sign. So then you have the square root of 3x equals negative 6. And then I'm going to square both sides. So then I'm left with 3x equals 36. And then I divide by 3. So x equals 12. I'm going to check that answer. 3 times 12 is 36. The square root of 36 is 6 plus 8. That does not work. 6 plus 8 does not equal 2. So what happened? Well, here's the thing. It's a negative 6. Okay? So when I take that square root or square both sides, I get rid of that negative sign. So this you would just say no solution. And that's it for your notes.